These are the 1990 to 91 TMC RTSs, the second order of TMC RTSs, and the most diverse RTS order of New York City Transit. Now their fleet numbers range from 8,000 to 8399. Now let's go to the list of depots that receive New York City Transit's second order of TMC RTSs. Here we go. So 8,000 to 8039 were delivered to 146th Street Depot, present-day Mother Clara Hale Depot, which was closed for rehabilitation in 2008 and reopened in January 2015, replacing 126th Street Depot. While 8040 to 8089 were delivered to Gun Hill Depot. 8090 to 8129 were delivered to East New York Depot, while 8130 to 8179 were delivered to Flatbush Depot. 8180 to 8219 were delivered to 126th Street Depot, which was closed in January 2015, while 8220 to 8279 were delivered to Hudson Pier Depot, which was closed in 2003. 8280 to 8319 were delivered to Yukon Depot, while 8320 to 8339 were delivered to Castleton Depot. 8340 to 8396 were delivered to Queens Village Depot, while 8397 was delivered to Casey Stengel Depot. Now 8397 was a unique RTS because it was a methanol-powered unit. Then it was later converted to an electric hybrid prototype until being retired in 2000. Well, last but not least, 8398 to 8399 were CNG-powered RTSs, and they were delivered to Jackie Gleason Depot. Then they were later sent to Command Bus Company in Brooklyn and were renumbered as 4976 to 4977. So these RTSs were a lot different from the previous order of RTSs from 1987. These featured newer generation flip-dot destination signs and a slightly different interior, but other than that, the model and exterior was pretty much the same. So this particular order of TMC RTSs was pretty unique. For example, 8000 to 8396 originally signified the use of the Detroit Diesel 6V92 engine, but these have more of a high-pitched roar along with a distinct high-pitch idle. Here it is. '8398 to '8399 were powered by the Cummins L10G engine, which sounds like this. So 8000 to 8396 were virtually identical to the RTSs of previous deliveries, but these came with a lot more improvements as well as some unique specs. For example, these RTSs originally came with Donaldson dual carbon particulate traps, otherwise known as trap oxidizers, and these were an attempt to make the 6B92 engine not smoke as much as it normally would. This was also featured in the later 1993 TMC RTSs and Orion 5s, but this was a short-lived experiment as they were removed by early 1996. These RTSs were also known for being very fast and were a bit slippery in rainy and snowy conditions, and they were also known for hauling serious ass with a lot of passengers on board. Between 2001 and 2002, New York City Transit started speeding up the process of phasing out two-cycle engines such as the 6B92 engine, and that's because the 6B92 engine emits significantly higher emissions than four-cycle engines such as the Series 50 engine, and as a result, a good number of these units were later repowered by the Detroit Diesel Series 50 engine, which sounds like this. Now, I personally think that repowering these RTSs ruined the value of them completely. And here's why I say that. First of all, the Series 50 required a roof exhaust, which I think ruined the appearance of the bus and made it look rather awkward. And second of all, the Series 50 really slowed these RTSs down. Because remember, when they were 6V92 powered, these RTSs flew. But once they were given the Series 50, they became a lot slower. Do I need to say more? Well, guess what? I'm going to. Fuck! At least a good number of these RTSs kept their 6V92 engines. What they should have done was just repower the 1993 Orion 5s and leave the RTSs the way they were. But no. Knowing the NTA, that's how they roll. Even though I am glad that they repowered the Orion 5s, because I personally didn't like how they sounded when they had the 92s in them. But hey, that's just my opinion. You guys can say whatever you want to say, but unfortunately, I don't give a shit! After MTA took over the private bus lines, a good number of these RTSs were transferred to JFK Depot, Paisley Park Depot, Spring Creek Depot, and, LaGuardia Depot. The reason why I say that is because LaGuardia Depot has always been known for their lack of maintenance, as far back as when they were known as Chaparral Coach. Anyway, as soon as MTA got new buses, some of these buses were sent back to New York City Transit and stayed there until the very end. It is really sad to say that these RTSs are now retired, and I'm honestly surprised that none of these were preserved in the museum fleet. The 8319 was later converted into a Metrocar bus and was renumbered as 0007, until being retired recently, while 8058 was sold to a filming company up in Canada and was renumbered as 8420. But as of right now, the whereabouts of 8058 are unknown. I'm sure wherever it is, it'll make a return to the Transit Fan spotlight someday. So as for these 1990 and 91 TMC RTSs, they're gone, but definitely not forgotten. So with that being said, this is Kal-El, and thanks for watching.